Uh, uh. Yeah. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Late for the Party on Anchor FM. I am your host, Melodious, aka Coverboy, the Modern Marvel. Happy New Year, everybody, and happy 2020. Man, 2019 is gone, right in the history books. Man, oh man, I must say that it's pretty crazy. A whole year gone by like a puff of smoke. It's a trip. I mean, I could sit here and reflect on my 2019. 2019 was a pretty interesting year, I say that much. Definitely on a roller coaster status. Up and down, oops. Got your down points, got your high points. You know, I accomplished some goals, made some accomplishments, had some fails, fell on my face, fell short. But you know what? In the end of the day, you're still breathing. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta live your life. You gotta live life. You gotta take risks. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes not taking the risk is a risk itself. You know? I mean, the accomplishments, I could say, some of the fails and the follies. It's been through a lot, man. Going through a divorce. Got a new girlfriend. You know, got a new place. Changed from an Xbox to a PlayStation. It's just, I mean, doing my podcast, getting my t-shirts, continuing my podcast, doing the live. Got my t-shirts out there in the world, you know. And honestly, on a humble, I'm happy. I mean, I always said to myself that, I may not change the world, but I definitely want to put a dent in it like your car door. You know. And I heard this comment before, like, has your mission to change the world changed for you? You know, I mean, that's interesting. That's an interesting question, because maybe in some cases I do want to change the world. I do want to change the stuff that I see, because it's like there's a lot of things that could be unfair. There's a lot of things that's unnatural. There's a lot of things that goes beyond my control, but maybe not change it in the way to where turning it back to where it was or anything like that. It's just changing it so everything could be on equal terms. You know, you can't do one without the other. You know? And I think my goals for what I'm doing with Late for the Party in general is one of those reasons why I'm trying to change the world. You know? And maybe I should say, instead of saying I may not change the world, I may not be able to change the world, but I'll put a dent in it. That dent is me changing the world. It may be a small dent. It may not be the biggest dent, but it will be noticeable at the corner of someone's eye. And I'm gonna start saying I'm gonna change the world like a dent in your car door. That's how I feel. Like I said, it's just been a crazy year, man. Like, honestly, it's like ups and downs. It's been a rough patch for me. I'm not going to front. Coming out of 2018 was probably the hardest parts about me trying to build a structure within 2019. And I think going through everything that I did, it taught me a lot. I've learned that, dealing with depression and dealing with anxiety, you kind of, you go to group and you go to therapy. It's like, it helps out. I've been learning myself a lot more and really trying to understand people a lot more. Like, what are people's motivations, their goals? Everybody's an individual in some cases, and I think that's one of the things. Like, everybody's their own individual. But sometimes you want to really realize, like, if those individuals are in it for themselves or they're in it to help out others, so they can all be on that same level on that platform, or on that level to where they're trying to stay up on the same plane of existence as you. You try to bring somebody up and you don't carry them along, but you want them to stand on their own 2 feet so they can be on that same level as you. It's like swimming, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can only carry you out for so long, but you gotta really fend for yourself. It's like sink or swim, fly or die, you know what I'm saying? And I see that now. I see that more so even coming out of group and therapy, because it's like, you can save people. You can save people all you want, but you can't save the people who don't want to be saved. It's kind of sad to say it that way, but you just gotta you gotta learn to let things go. I've learned a lot through this year about learning to let a lot of things go. Try to let the negativity go, all the stuff that's happened in your past and everything. And you know what? It's very hard. It really is. Like, you can't just drop it. I mean, you can, but it's hard to do it. And then, of course, you can't turn everything in your mind off. And sometimes there's things that triggers that along the way. So, and you just you're human. And that's one of the things I've also learned about everything, too, is that we're all human, man. I'm not sitting here judging nobody. I'm trying not to judge. Who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm just a guy trying to do a podcast, trying to live his life, trying to, deal with going through a divorce, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, trying to embrace the family that I have, as well as adapt to a new family. There's a lot, I had to learn to purge all the stuff that I used to deal with and used to know and adapt to new shit. And it's a lot. It's a lot to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, even going through a new year, it's hard. Like, going through a year when you're sitting here and you're doing everything you can in your power. There's a lot of things that's way beyond your control, to where it's like, damn, it's it's a lot of time and it's a lot of energy. And sometimes when your energy is spent, you don't really have a chance to recover. And that's one of the things that a lot of people don't really grasp, because, like, you know, it's kind of hard to do all that, especially when you're dealing with your 9 to 5. But then also it's just what you're trying to do with your life and what you want to do with it, period. You know, I think that's one of the things that I'm really learning and acquiring, because it's like, and then also another thing is just, where's your faith? What do you believe in God? I mean, you know, I'm not, and keep in mind, this is not me being a religious holy roly or anything like that. I've always considered myself as a spiritual dude, because I do believe in God. I do, he exists. I mean, there can't be a heaven without a hell, and there can't be a hell without a heaven. Everything is a balance. So, you know, you got to go through your shit, you know. And I feel that everything that's going on, you know, God understands. It's just about you dealing with it and repenting for the things that you do. I mean, we're all human. I mean, we're not perfect. We're not saints. You know, I'm definitely not a saint. I am a nice guy, but I'm not a saint. I mean, I've had my follies and flaws and fallibilities to where I've fucked up in my life, period. You know, some of it might have even contributed to my marriage. I'm not going to say all of it, because honestly, I'm not the one who ended it in the way it did. You know, one thing I'd never do is give up. And that's one of the things that I could say that I carry very well, that no matter how much I fall, I get back up and I try, man. I get back up and take my lumps, and I get back up and I do it. And one day it'll all succeed. Like, I got my diploma. I mean, you know, these are some great feats that I say that I managed to pull off. And I just, you know, being human, sometimes the bad, like, you know, just letting the bad outweigh the good. But then that's my fault. You know, the accomplishments that I did pull off, you know, I should be like, you know what, fuck it. You know, this may have happened, but at least I did this. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta remind myself. You gotta remind yourself that, you know, shit like that. You gotta remind yourself that you are human, and you're gonna feel those feelings to where you might get heartbroken, and you might have those year-long nights. And, you know, your mind gets the best of you. And sometimes that's the thing. Your mind plays tricks. All of that shit. You know, I'm on a rant because maybe it's a new year. It's a new beginning. You know, and that's why I said that, you know, I hate New Year's, because you're going into a new year and you feel like the things that you didn't get a chance to do last year, you can do it this year. But then it's like, but then there's a lot of things that I don't really get a chance to share or experience, like, you know, being around my sister, my brother, everybody being under one roof. You know, I think the last time I've seen everybody who I want to be around or want my family to be around, they were at my wedding. And I said, like, you know, that was one of the greatest moments of my life, because sad part is I was looking back and I see everybody, all my family, my mom, my dad, my mom's side, my dad's side, everybody, they were all at the wedding. And I said to myself, you know what, this probably might never happen again. You know, this probably will never happen again for me. You know, and it's sad to say it that way, but honestly, that might be the case. You know. And, you know, not to sound all cryptic or anything, but but I mean, it's just that, you know, situations like that, I mean, I don't believe in, like, well, I mean, they always say the second time around is always better than the first. In some cases, that may be true. But, you know, before all that, I'm just taking my time. You know, it's just, I'm not gonna sit there and try to, like, rush and jump the gun on, like, oh, you know, wanting to do all the things that, like, doing that again. I mean, I will, but maybe not right now. I think right now is just trying to focus on the things that I need to do and all the things I wanted to do. You know, like, even though Downside Up didn't last very long, but I'm glad we got it up and running, and we're gonna get it right back up and running. It's gonna be 10 times as dope as it was before. And it's gonna happen. Everything that I said I was gonna put my mind to, I already got it, the gears are already in motion, so it's just a matter of time. You know? And everything it's all about timing. It's a matter of time. It's all about timing. And it's all about believing in the work that you're doing. And it's all about patience, too. You know? You can't rush greatness, you know? I definitely know that's for sure. But you know what? I'm actually gonna cut it off right around here. So I'm just happy that I'm alive and happy I'm breathing. I can see another year. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make everything work. I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna stand up. That's what life is, y'all. You know, Late for the Party, Downside Up. These are my babies. I'm gonna make sure this shit works, you know. Put in all my work for what it's worth. I am going to change the world. I'm definitely going to put a dent in it like your car door. And I'm going to lose all this fucking weight too. I'm already lost 12 pounds. I'm going to keep it pushing. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions and shit like that, but like I said, all the new shit that's going on this year, y'all just going to have to wait and see. I'm going to finish off what I started, and I'm going to continue to get everything going so everything can be great. So, either way, y'all, this is your boy Melodious, a.k.a. Coverboy, the Modern Marvel, on Late for the Party on Anchor FM. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and support the podcast. T-shirts on teespring.com. Also, get ready for the new t-shirt coming out. The Tales of Coverboy, the Modern Marvel. And I'll see y'all soon. As always, it's okay to be late for the party, but don't be late for the fun.